Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Dexter's back. And today we actually have a lot of news. I didn't plan that. He just barked when I said that. And I am glad that I am back today. I'm sorry that I had to take a little bit of a 3-day break, but today we have huge news. Today, Season 2 Reloaded revealed everything. We know everything that is coming during this update, when it is coming, how big the update is, and everything in between. So that is what we're going to be going over today. Dexter wants to jump right into it, so let's do it. So here it is. The big news right here is essentially what is on this. This is the Season 2 Reloaded roadmap, and there is quite a bit here, and at the same time not a lot here. There's also a blog post with more information, and that's what we're going to be going over a little bit more in depth throughout this video. But I wanted to start off with the big one, the one with all of the questions, and that is up in the top left for Warzone. What is happening next as the threat rises in Verdansk? So this is essentially what we've been talking about over the past 4 or 5 weeks with the zombies outbreak in Verdansk. Every single time that they added a location to the zombies outbreak, the percentage of zombies on the map did not go up. It stayed at 5%. So we were left thinking, okay, what is happening here? I'm assuming what this means on the roadmap, the threat rises, is essentially when that number is going to start to rise, and it'll kind of meet the precipice right at the beginning of Season 3, and that's when we can expect that nuke event that everyone is expecting. The other things that I would expect out of this event, just based off of this image, first of all, we see zombies out in a field. So what this tells me is that that's no longer a set location. It's not like in the bank, for example. So either the zombies are going to spread out from those locations, or we're going to be getting a similar game mode to what we got at Halloween with Zombies Royale, where you actually get to play as zombies. But it looks like, based off this picture, it's going to be during the day, or at least at sunset. I'm curious if they actually change the map to sunset. But if you're wondering when that is going to happen, that happens tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Pacific time, and then the Black Ops Cold War update happens tonight at 11 p.m. Pacific time. So Cold War update tonight, Warzone update tomorrow night. I'll have a video both mornings keeping you guys updated what has all changed, so be sure to stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, speaking of which, let's talk about Black Ops Cold War. So starting off with the new maps, all of these are coming tomorrow. So the first one that we have here is Miami Strike 6v6. So this one, instead of Miami at night, it takes place during the day, and it's a smaller version of the map. This is the most straightforward out of all of them. Unfortunately, this is the only 6v6 map, so technically no new 6v6 maps with the mid-season update. The second new map that we have is called Mansion. This is for 2v2 and 3v3. We're going to dive a little bit more into that in a second, but essentially a gunfight map. And I was actually surprised because based off of the image, I thought it was going to take place outside the mansion, but the image that they actually gave us is inside the mansion, and it looks super close quarters, but 2-storied. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays. And the final map that we have is Golova. This one is obviously for Fireteam Dirty Bomb, and this one we already have an Outbreak. There's really not much for me to say here. Just another Fireteam Dirty Bomb map. But moving into the actual game modes is where we see some new stuff. So first off, we have multi-team hardpoint. So this is actually on the Fireteam maps like Golova, and you play in your team of 4, but you have to capture objectives to get points. So it's going to be a super chaotic game of hardpoint. I'm actually pretty curious to see how this one plays. The second one is the one that I am most excited about. It is Gunfight Tournaments. You guys know I love Gunfight Tournaments, and they've been teased in the game for a really long time. They were literally on the menu at one point, and now they are finally coming. They're not coming tomorrow, but rather sometime in the rest of the season. I would probably expect 2 weeks after the mid-season update. So 2 weeks from now is probably when we can expect to see this. But yeah, I'm really excited. Also, they are bringing back Blueprint Gunfight, which we had in Modern Warfare, which is basically Gunfight, but with just the blueprints you can get from the store. Pretty straightforward. All right, moving over to the other side of things, some updates to Outbreak. So first of all, we have a new map, which is Sanatorium, and it also takes place at night, which is pretty cool. Based off of everything I'm seeing, this is the only map that is going to be put to night mode. I'm guessing as we move further and further into Season 3, they will probably make some of the other maps, like Alpine, for example, a night map as well as a different kind of variant. They also introduced a new objective, which is called Secure. And based off of what they said about this one, I think what you have to do is call down a rocket from outer space and then kill zombies that surround it. So in the area of that rocket, kill zombies. It collects the zombies zombies essence, and then I'm assuming it takes off again, and then you can move to your next objective. The other thing is they also introduced a new vehicle called the Dirt Bike, which appears to only be in Outbreak, not Fireteam Dirty Bomb, because I think it kind of already is in Fireteam Dirty Bomb, but yeah, a new vehicle nonetheless. So going back to the roadmap here, you'll see that first of all, we have the new objective, the Dirt Bike, but there's also new intel on the new map, which as we discussed is Sanatorium, and there is some gameplay updates to Outbreak as well, which of course we're going to cover later tonight when the update actually happens. So stay tuned for that. As soon as I get that done, the video will be out so you guys are up to date on everything that's changing. They also mentioned that some huge weapon changes are happening, so that'll be covered in that update video as well. So some smaller things with zombies, they have added some more things to Dead Ops Arcade. First of all, you can now get player XP and Battle Pass XP by playing Dead Ops Arcade, which is fantastic. It should have been like that in the first place. You cannot level up weapons though, it appears like. They've also introduced a new map called the Silverback Slideways map, which is a 2D Dead Ops Arcade map. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but it sounds pretty interesting to me. They also introduced a new feature called Apply Blueprints, which makes it so that you can use your blueprints in zombies even for wall weapons or picked up weapons, which is pretty cool. And then finally, you also have new Onslaught content for the PlayStation players, which is they're adding in the 2v2 maps to Onslaught. So after this, we have our new operator, which is named Wolf. So he is a NATO operator. He's one of the people who is helping search for Adler. It also says in his bio that he is turning 18 tomorrow. And I have to say, this is one of the most jacked 18-year-olds that I have ever seen. Now, on top of this, we also get his puppy. So yes, so similar to Modern Warfare, he is going to have a puppy finishing move, which is super cool. Unfortunately, we don't know the pupper's name yet, but it does, I will say, look very similar to Nomad's puppy that was in Black Ops 4. The second character we have is Rivas. She is not coming out tomorrow. She will be sometime in season. Like I said, probably expect her 2 to 3 weeks after this mid-season update comes out, very close to the end of season 2. And then the other thing is not coming out tomorrow is the ZRG 20mm sniper. You can see it here. It is huge. I'm really interested to see how it plays in Warzone. Also, as you're seeing there, that's a new Stitch skin, which looks pretty cool as well. But that's like kind of like the final big thing coming in season 2 Reloaded. Oh yeah, the one thing that I forgot is if you look down in the bottom right there, there is some new props coming for Prop Hunt as well. I didn't think that was worth talking about, but they wanted to include it, so now you know. So this is essentially season 2 Reloaded. I have to say, I think it's a little lackluster. I don't like that there's no new 6v6 map. And I hate that we didn't get a new weapon this week. I know we just got one last week, but I don't know, with a Reloaded update, it just feels like you should get another weapon. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird like that. They did also mention in the blog post that there is going to be some new store bundles. You can see a couple of new things here, like this skin or this sniper rifle that you are seeing in this image here from Warzone. Looks pretty large, and I believe that's the new sniper rifle with some sort of blueprint on it as well. So that'll all be happening. Now, the last thing to talk about is the update sizes. So the reason why I want to point this out is because on Black Ops Cold War side of things, the update is seemingly going to be around 10 gigabytes. It's going to be different on what console you're on or if you're on PC. But the Warzone update, it's pretty consistently around 50 gigabytes on all consoles and on PC. And if you have Modern Warfare on PC, it's like 133 gigabytes. I don't know why, but that's the only one that's massive. But the interesting thing about this is if we look at the roadmap, it appears as though the roadmap is mainly focused on Black Ops Cold War, which only has a 10 gigabyte update, and very minimally on Warzone. What this tells me is that there is more in this Warzone update than they are telling us. First of all, I would expect a weapon balancing update probably coming this week. On top of this, something big, whether that be a live event bundled with this, and I don't think this is going to come out this week, but I'm guessing we're going to have some data mined files telling us what is coming next for Warzone, because like I said, that is a really big update for Warzone, one of the biggest ones we've seen in a really long time. So I would expect some big information to come out of this update, and I will keep you guys updated when it does. I just thought that was interesting and probably thought you guys would find it interesting as well. So that's what we know as of right now. As I mentioned, tonight is the Black Ops Cold War update. Tomorrow night is the Warzone update. I will have videos throughout the whole thing to keep you guys updated, so make sure you're subscribed. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, always appreciate it if you hit that like button, and let me know what you think of this down in the comments. Is it not enough? Is it the right amount for a mid-season update? Keep in mind that this isn't a full season we're getting here, it's just the mid-season, so of course it's going to be a little bit smaller, but we do have season 3 right around the corner, so I would also expect to see some data mine season 3 content coming as well. So again, I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you're subscribed, have notifications on. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out. We are rich.
reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard.